Hello, hello, good people. This is Naturally Nija J, also known as Nija Jackson, if you don't know me personally. And this video is a long time coming as far as what I want to talk about. And I just really want to explain to you why I decided to jump. And I actually have some talking points. They're probably not all of them, but I do have some talking points, if you can see that, why I decided to jump. In this video, I presume will resonate with some and other people. I don't know. But I'm just going to jump right on in. And it's interesting because I was having a conversation recently with a colleague. And conversation initially started off just talking about just normal things, work-related things. And then it turned to another direction when we both started talking about how frustrated we are with being mothers and having to get up every day and go to a job where we are not appreciated, right? And if you've been following me on social media, I have a Facebook page, I have Instagram, and I have YouTube. So if you're not subscribing and following me, I would encourage you to do so if what I'm saying to you penetrates you in any form or fashion. And we were just talking about how not just us, but we know so many women and men who resonate with us. You get up every day and you go to a job that you really don't enjoy. And I posted something recently and I asked people, I don't know if I asked, but I basically was saying that you get up every day, you fight traffic, you get up and go to a job where you're not appreciated, where you're overworked, where you sometimes work over 40 hours, but you're only paid 40 hours, maybe because your salary, you're non-exempt. So you work 50 hours, we pay you 40. We may call it comp time where you could take some time off. Sometimes people don't even use comp time or what have you. You deal with a boss. I don't have a boss. I don't regard my supervisors and managers as bosses. They don't own me. We're not on no plantation. So if you calling somebody your boss, you need to get that slave plantation mentality out right now. So, you're dealing with supervisors and bosses that you don't get along with, you can't stand. You're dealing with coworkers who are conniving, who are backstabbing, who don't want you to be promoted, who lie on you, who talk about you behind your back. All this kind of work-related drama that I know so many people deal with on a day-to-day basis. You want to know why you deal with all that crap? Because you've bought into the mentality that this is what you do because you don't have any other options. And you've bought into the mentality. And I'm going to tell you now, I used to as well. I bought into that mentality as well for many years that you go to work, you do your job, you get paid, you come home, and you do the vicious cycle. For some people, they've done that vicious, horrible cycle for 30 plus years of their lives. And then you ask, what do you have to show for? You've missed so many opportunities over 30 plus years because you got to get up every day, go to work because you need to earn a living. So there's nothing wrong with needing to earn a living. Of course, we have to earn a living. But here is the issue that I have. The issue that I have is that you don't have to do what you're currently doing to earn a living, and that you really do have choices. But depending on if you're blind, if you're deaf, and I mean that figuratively, there are opportunities that you may not be aware of that exist, but because you have blinders on, because you've turned a deaf ear, because in your heart you've hardened any kind of insight and knowledge and anything of that nature, you wouldn't see the opportunity for what it is, and you're quick to judge it. And it's interesting because people are literally just treading water. You're getting up every day. You're not really making ends meet, or you're barely making ends meet. You're frustrated. You can't spend time with your kids because you're working 2 and 3 jobs. Your mom and your dad and your sisters, your brothers, people got to help you take care of your kids. I'm not saying that's an issue, but I'm saying you're doing all this and you're barely treading water. People have to throw you life preservers. Constantly needing life preservers. You want to know what those life preservers are? Credit cards, payday loans, auto loans, title loans. They are mortgages. They are, and I'll talk a little bit about mortgages later. They are waiting for tax refunds. They are borrowing money from family and friends, things like that. Those are your life preservers because you're treading water. And because we live in an economy where they know most people are treading water. And I'll define that a little more clearly because some of you may be, if you're still listening, well, what exactly does she mean by I'm treading water? If you don't have at least 6 months of income saved up, you're treading water. If you have to wait until you get paid for the next pay cycle or the next paycheck to fix your car or to repair something on your home or something that's necessary that needs to be done, but you don't have the money in the bank to get it done right now, you're treading water. If you have to get a cash advance, if you have to get an advance on a credit card, you're treading water. And America knows that, the economy knows that the average American has very little savings. And remember what I said, most financial educators will tell you, you need to have at minimum 6 months of salary saved. We're not even going to go into the investments and having retirements and 401ks and 401(b)s and IRAs and, all of that. That's something separate. I'm just talking about having an additional account that you do not touch that is there for quote unquote rainy days. Treading water is not having insurance, not having life insurance. Treading water is needing to set up a GoFundMe account when something tragic happens in your life and you don't have any money for it. Again, this is not being judgmental, but this is opening up your eyes and reminding you this is what treading water looks like. And the things I just described to you are life preservers. The life preserver is simply to save your life. It's not to sustain your life. It's not to give you a certain quality of life. It's simply to save your life for the moment. So then the frustration is still there, right? You're still like, okay, Nigel, what you talking about? Okay, maybe I'm capturing a little bit of your interest. Maybe you're intrigued a little bit. We've bought into this mentality that you get up, you go to work, you don't like your job, but that's all you have. That's all you have. And I'll tell you something else that came, there was a conversation and then revelation after that conversation came in from God, praise him. And I was participating in an interview at work. And one of the chief officers is in the interview process. So this is one of the top 3 or 4 people of the company, right? They make 6 figures easily. And the individual said to the person that was being interviewed, I just basically giving them an outline of the job, the atmosphere of the job, the culture, what have you. And I'm going to tell you the words that this person used. They said, this job at this company is a flat pyramid. Flat pyramid, right? So you're intrigued a little bit about what a flat pyramid is? A flat pyramid is basically there's very little room for advancement and opportunity. And the people on the top who make the most amount of money is a very small number. And the majority of the people for the company, they are at the bottom of the flat pyramid, and this is about how much money they make. She didn't give a dollar amount, but this is how much, these are the number of people at the bottom of the pyramid that make the least amount of money. And when those words were said and when that description was given, I just dropped my head and I was like, wow. Even though I knew that was true, but to hear it being said, it just brought it to another level. But you know what happened? And you know what happened in my spirit and in my mind? It made me basically have a different fire in my belly, right? A different fire in my belly as to, all right, God, I see you. You're just reminding and reinstating what I already knew. So it's not like it was a new revelation, guys. But it was more of, all right, yeah, I got to get this cracking. Yeah, what I'm doing, this ain't working. So how many of you all work at jobs that are flat pyramids, right? Where the people that make 6 and 7 figures, you ain't never going to be them. I know people who worked on jobs 20, 25, 30, 40 years ain't never got to the top. Never. And the system was never designed for them to get to the top. You were going to stay at that bottom or medium rung for the duration of your career. So whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 7 years old and you're watching this video, I know it's true. It's true for me and I know it's true for you. This is truth talking to you right now. Buckle your seatbelt. And so just with all of the conversations and all the realizations and just the revelation, I was like, well, my gosh, if that's not something that hit home, it made me even more charged up. And I'm like, well, why don't people see this and are trying to look at other options? And there are people who see it, they get it, and they are looking at other options. But my thing is for all of the people who don't get it and they have those life preservers thrown to them day in and day out. Day in and day out, day in and day out, right? You robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're doing this vicious cycle. Well, let me wait till I get my check. I don't have no money. Let me wait till I get my check. It's some things that you can do right now that could help you and not just have another life preserver, but that's now can help you to get out of the water a little bit. Because right now you treading water. You barely have your chin above the water. And at any moment, you may fall under the water and need somebody to pull you out and give you a life preserver. And so the thing about it is, this video is about why I decided to jump. I jumped into another opportunity because I saw that I was treading water. And I saw that there is no way out of this, what I'm currently doing. There's no way out. And for those people, I can tell you right now, another thing that we've bought into and we think, okay, so we making it because we got a little raise or we got a pay increase or we got a promotion. Let me explain to you another revelation that I got recently about the so-called little small bonuses and promotions that you've gotten, because I've gotten them too. But what they don't take an account for is taxes, inflation, all of those things that happen in this economy that we live and work in that people don't account for. So your job is going to give you just enough of an increase to keep you. They ain't trying to see you set free. They're not trying to see you with having that 6 months or, God forbid, a year of savings. They're not trying to see you pay off any debt. They're not trying to see you purchase a house. If they were trying to see you get out of debt and purchase a house, they would say that. They would offer you opportunities to get there. Does your job offer you opportunities and say, hey, whatever your name is, hey, I want you to pay off debt. I don't want you drowning in debt. I want you to be a homeowner. I want you to invest in property and real estate. I want you to have extra income to do the things that you want to do with your family and to travel more. Hey, let me offer you some additional opportunities to make some more money. And I don't mean we're going to give you more money if you work more hours, because that's another trap. You think your overtime is the opportunity? The overtime is a trap, because that's more time that you're spending away from home. That's more time you're spending away from family and other commitments so that you can stay on your job to work overtime. That overtime is taxed. Don't forget it. So you're not really understanding and weighing all the variables like you should. So it's like, the opportunities are out there, but you got to be open to it and you have to understand. So when I said this video was going to be about why I decided to jump, those are the reasons why I decided to jump and leap and push myself in a position where I'm no longer needing life preservers, where I'm no longer needing to borrow, to put things on credit, to not ever have enough and to keep waiting. Like I said before, we're waiting until the next paycheck, waiting. I don't have no money. I can't do this. People bought into the trap. But guess what? There are opportunities available where you actually can get out of debt, where people actually want to see you set free. They want to see you living freedom, traveling. You have money in the bank. You have money to give your children. You don't have to tell your children, we can't have that because mommy don't make enough money. We can't have that because daddy doesn't make enough money. It's not that something's wrong with you. It's not that you're a bad person. It's just that you've bought into the mindset that many Americans buy into, is that this 40-hour-a-week job is all I have as an opportunity to ever make a living. And that's a lie from the pit of hell. I'm giving you time to absorb all of that. So when you see people trying to offer you opportunities and tell you about, well, you know what? I know of a business platform where you can get out of debt. The company wants you to get out of debt. The company tells you we are offering $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 bonuses because we know America is drowning in debt. I wish I had my notebook. This is a different notebook. I have about 3 of them, but this is a different one. But I had some statistics that I pulled up where it basically gave the percentage of Americans who have credit card debt, student loan debt. I don't think they included mortgages. I don't think that may have been another statistic, another stat that I pulled. But majority of Americans have credit card debt, have student loan debt, consumer debt, right? And they're drowning in the debt. And the reason why people get the debt is because you want to live a certain lifestyle that you technically can't afford because you work on a job that doesn't pay you enough money. So you have to go then get debt so that you can just get the things that you need or the things that you want. And a lot of times people are not trying to live extravagant lifestyles. They just want to be able to drive a nice car or to furnish their home. They want to, maybe take a trip. They want to purchase clothing. They want to purchase things for their children. They don't have the money in the bank, so you go and get into debt. And getting into debt is what's putting you in the water and you're drowning. But you don't understand, I don't have to work this crappy 9-to-5, paying me very little job. You have other opportunities out there. Little do you know, you do have opportunities. And maybe you're still watching this and you're like, oh, this doesn't really apply to me. I'm comfortable. Well, guess what? You're comfortable and another person's comfortable could be very different. And I'll tell you why, is because I was talking with someone probably about maybe a month ago. And this individual was telling me how they're mentored by people who are multimillionaires. And when I mean multimillionaires, they make 6 figures every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. Some people don't even make 6 figures in a year. And basically the person was a gentleman. He was telling me, how, you have to surround yourself with people who are living a life that you desire or who has something that you are desiring to have. So you have to choose mentors wisely. You have to open your mind up to opportunities. And the opportunities is not working a 9-to-5. And it's interesting because he was telling me the millionaires that he associates with, none of them work a traditional 9-to-5. They are entrepreneurs. They get it. They are investors. They get it. They're not getting up, fighting traffic, having to sit in traffic, dropping off their kids in daycare, sitting in a cubicle or an office or a workstation, doing this hard, labor-intensive work, breaking your back, fingers dirty, crawling under stuff, inhaling fumes. They not working in no refinery. They ain't working underneath the car. They ain't dealing with all this stuff that could potentially kill you. They ain't offshore. They ain't on some ship. They ain't up fishing nowhere. They not doing any of that. Their hands are clean because they get it. So the reason why I jumped and the reason why I decided I'm no longer going to have that flawed mentality is because I get it. Because I get it. And I'm so thankful that I had entrepreneurs in my life to pour into me, to show me that there are multiple ways that you can live the lifestyle you desire. And it does not include getting up and going to a dead end 9-to-5 job. And I'm going to tell you, it's dead end when you work at a job and the pyramid is flat. And there is little likelihood that you will ever be on top. You can work there 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I guarantee you, you're not going to be the CEO. And some people not aspiring to be the CEO. I've heard people say, oh, I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be a director. I don't want to be a leader. It's too much work. It's too much of a headache. But you rather be broke. And you rather go get your payday loan. And you rather wait on your tax refund. Right? At least I can say for the people who have ambition and drive, and at least they're trying to aspire to want to get into leadership positions to try to raise the ranks so that they can bring in more money and do the things that I talked about earlier in the video, right? Just living abundant life. You can't live no abundant life living check to check. When there's a need in your family, a need in the community, people give. You're probably not even in a position to really give. You barely could give $25. You barely give $20 in offering at church. God forbid if there was a need and you had to give $500, $1,000, $5,000. Ain't happening. You'll talk every reason why you can't do it and why you ain't going to do it and blah, blah, blah. You want to know why? Because you can't do it. Because you don't have the means to do it. As simple as that. So it's interesting because when I decided to jump and I decided to work for myself, and when I decided to build Nija, I started to see there are opportunities out there where I can pay off debt, where I can be at home working from my phone. What you see right now is a part of my business platform. What you see me doing right now is a part of my business. I'm trying to get people to change the way they think. That ultimately will change their actions, that in the end will change their lives. That's all I'm trying to do for y'all, folks. That's it. So when I saw that the opportunity was there to be able to earn bonuses and commissions and get, to a place where I can be at home with my child. I could drop him off in the morning, pick him up in the afternoon, be home with him if I choose to, not have to go and fight all of this stuff that I told you about earlier. I was like, wow. So this is living. So people actually are living like this. Ain't nobody on my job talking like this. They think that's it. That's what you do. You deal with all this crap. I can't tell you how dark and how stiff and how sometimes I walk into work and the atmosphere is just so cold, right? It's almost like zombies. I think I used that analogy recently when I was talking with someone about so parched about people just get up and do this dead end thing and that's all they think they have. They thought that's all. I'm going to close out this video, y'all. If this has touched you in some kind of way, let me know. Comment, share it. I mean, just tell me what you think. Does this resonate with you at all? Does this make sense? Am I the only one who feels like this? I know I can't be. So, y'all, I jump because I'm frustrated. I jump because this is not my destiny. I decided to jump and invest in Nija because I know there's greater out there. And I know that the life that I desire is attainable. But yet I also know that the 9-to-5 that I'm going to will never get me to the life that I want. It won't. So I'm investing in myself, I'm investing in my family, and I'm investing in a community and a culture. And I'm just trying to take people along with me who want to come. That's it. So if you want to come along for the ride, if you're interested in knowing more about what I do, let me know. Again, this is Naturally Nija J. And I'll talk to y'all later. I'm about to put my greens, y'all, drinking my greens on the go. All these fruits and vegetables I'm about to put in here. I love you all. God bless you. And thank you so much for listening. Bye.